first traditionally you will say a first grader, but in Montessori we'll say a 6-year-old. This is a 6-year-old's work. Instead of saying activity, we say work. This is a 6-year-old's work on blue triangles, constructive triangles. And this morning, I knew that this child, by observing the classroom, I knew that this child had a need for this, for geometry, because just by observing him, I'm always seeing him at the geometry area. He always wants to go pull something from geometry. So I know he has a need for geometry work because observing him, he's always at the geometry area. So this morning I asked him, I didn't tell him I was going to give him a lesson on blue triangles. I asked him, would he like a lesson on the blue triangles? Because in Montessori, it's all about respecting the child. And in Montessori, each child has certain rights that the teacher must, abide by. So when I asked him this morning, he had the right to say no. So he could have said, no, I don't want a lesson on that. And me, the teacher, traditionally you'd be like, oh, you gonna get this lesson today. But in Montessori, I just say thank you and I just walk away. But he said yes, he would like to have a lesson on this. And when I pulled the materials out, I presented the material to him. And when I presented it to him, I didn't say a lot of words, because when I present the materials, I want to be as silent as I can be, because when you're silent, the children are forced to pay attention to you. When you're constantly talking to them and telling them what to do, they tune you out. But if they have to be forced, not knowing they're being forced, but forced to actually watch you and your movements, you'll get their attention better like that. So when I presented the work to him, if you can come closer, I'll show you how I presented it to him. And when he comes back, I'm going to make sure that I put this back exactly the same way he laid it out, because in Montessori, he's not in here right now, but we're just doing this for the video. I don't have a right to touch his work. This is his work. These are his things, and I didn't get permission from him to touch his work, so I don't have the right to do that as a teacher. But he's not in here, so I'm going to go ahead and move it. But I'm going to make sure I straighten it back, same exactly he had it before he was out here. So when I presented this lesson to him,
you can.
Field trip request. Which one?
For Wednesday.
I did. I turned it in.
Check requests. You do your check requests?
Oh, I'll do that in a few minutes. Thank you. So like, I'm gonna act like you're the student. So you come over here. And so when I present it to him, this is how I present the work to him. I try not to say a lot of words because I want him to observe me and using my hands, because Maria Montessori was big on use of hands. So when I presented the work to him, the most I said was, this is a triangle, this is a triangle, this is a triangle. And I said, this is a triangle. And I'm kind of going a little fast, but when I present lessons, I present them very slowly. And I just said, this is a triangle, this is a triangle, this is a triangle. And then the next thing, as I said, I named all of these as being triangles. The next thing I asked him was to point to a triangle. And he pointed, and I said, well, point to another triangle. Show me another triangle. Show me another triangle. Show me another triangle. He was able to show me all the triangles. The next thing I asked him was, what is this? And he recited triangle. What is this? 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 Triangle? He was able to name all of these as being triangles. That's how we do a quick assessment with our students, and we call that the 3-period lesson. The 3-period lesson is when we first name what the object is. The second period is when the child can point to it. Then the third period is when the child can name it. Once the child can do all 3 of those things, he has passed that quick assessment. So that's one way that we assess our students. So after he was able to pass the 3-period lesson, I took the triangles, and I didn't say too much to him. I just started constructing shapes. And then I did the 3-period lesson again with that child. You know, I said, this is a square, this is a rectangle, this is a rhombus, this is a trapezoid. Then I had him point to each shape, and then I had him name each shape. And he passed that assessment as well. And then after that, I just got up and I walked away. And I did that because I don't want to tell him how to create his own work. I want him to be able to problem solve and think for himself a way that he can create his own work. And when I got up, and I didn't say, you know, good job, because in Montessori we stray away from saying good job, awesome work. I just got up and I walked away from him. And he was able to figure out that he can take these shapes, trace them, and then glue them on paper. And when he's finished, he knows to just place his work in our, we have an area where they turn in their work. If he was to come to me and show me his work, and he may say, Miss Hunt, look at my work. My job as a Montessori teacher is to not say, oh, that work is so nice. Oh, you did such a good job. My job is to ask him, how does this work make you feel? So I would ask him instead of praising him, because if I praise him, he's going to become more dependent on me for more praise. And in Montessori, we want the kids to be independent of the teacher. So if I'm praising his work, he's going to become very dependent on me for more praise. So what I would do is I would say, well, Daniel, how does this work make you feel? So I'm taking my feelings and my opinions out of it, and I'm placing it on him for him to place his own opinion on his work. And I would ask him, you know, how does this work make you feel? He would say, oh, I like doing this work. And I would tell him, well, you are free to choose that work whenever you would like to work on it.